Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome back to my subscribers. As always, thank you so much for your support. So today we are going to use the jumbo sticks and we are going to make some bookmarks, and we are also going to make some dangles to go along with our bookmarks. So let's get started. Okay, so the way that I did this one, I actually used a digital that I printed out on some vellum paper, and we'll do one like that again. And then I also want to do one using a book page. So the way that I began was in the following manner. I used double-sided tape first, and I laid that onto the jumbo pop stick. So when I get that down, so I made sure I covered as much of the popsicle as possible with the double-sided tape. So once I have that down, then I want to use my glue stick, and let me get something to use as a backing here so that I don't get too much glue on my table. So right now we're just working on one side, there's no glue on the other side. So right over where I put the double-sided tape, I want to get on a generous amount of the glue stick. And that is so that I have some wiggle room to straighten things out before the glue solidifies. So I want to try to use the text for alignment, and that looks straight to me, not too much wiggling that I need to do. And I know that this is going to be aligned on the other side because I can see through the page. Okay, so I've glued things down, and once I cut around it, this is what I'm going to get on the other side. Okay, so the way I'm going to cut things around, I am using the stick as my guide. So let me get all of this cut around, and then I'll do the same thing with this stick, except this time I'm going to use the digital that I printed on the vellum. Okay, so I see here that even after cutting, I have a little bit of a raggedy edge. So what I'm going to do is, I have a sanding block, and if you don't have a sanding block, you can use a nail file emery board, and I'm just going to get those edges cleaner. So that's helping to clean off some of that raggediness on the end there. So let me finish doing this, and then I'll come right back, okay? I do want to show you that with the vellum paper, since you can see right through it, you know where you're placing things very readily. So I want to make sure that I get a good portion of these flowers onto my stick. So let me turn it this way in the direction of the printed sheet. Okay, so I've got some of those roses on there and the rose buds, and just going to smoothen that out a little bit. Okay, and that's going to dry underneath. It's going to dry clear, and I'll do the same thing with this one. I'll cut around it, and then if there's any raggedy edges, I will just use the sanding block. Okay? Okay, so I have my sticks covered on both sides, and unlike the original where I used the vellum on one side and I stamped on the other, I used the vellum printout on both sides of this. Now, if you find that your paper starts to pull up a little bit, my paper started to pull up a little bit. What you'll do is you'll just take a little bit of glue and you'll just rest that back down. Okay, so I'll do that later. The next thing that we need to do is I'm using the vintage photo, and we need to distress all around on both sides. And the other thing that I will do is, do you see the little charm piece that I made for the original? So I have things already cut out. So I'm going to use a glue stick to glue these together. So this will be my top piece, then I'll have two in the center, and then this piece will be the back. And in case you wanted the measurements, this is 1 1/4 of an inch, so that will go with this one. Then for this one here, I'll do the same. I'll use a glue stick and glue these things together, and I will distress around here. Okay, so let me do that and I'll come right back. In addition to distressing things, I've also put the eyelets in. And when you do your distressing, make sure you get the sides as well, so you get that wooden piece that isn't covered by the paper. Okay, so I have some matching chains that I'm going to use. So I'll need 2 of these. Before I put these on, what I want to do is, with this one, I'm going to use the glossy Mod Podge. And what I did was I put Mod Podge on one side, and on one side of the dangle, I let that dry. I turned it over, and then I did the same thing on the other side. That was with the original. So I need to do that with this. I'm going to set this aside for now. And I want to focus on this one, the one that has the page cover. So I want to add a couple of embellishments to this, and what I'll probably do is I'll take a few of these embellishments, and I don't think I'm gonna like it this way, so what I'll probably do is fold some over and get some different ones on there, as well as put a label or something on the little dangle here. And then I also, after I've put these things on there, I'm also going to finish it off with some of the Mod Podge as well. So let me do these things and then I will be back. Okay? Okay, so here are the two pieces that we were working on. This is the one that just has the vellum digital. So everything has been finished, sealed with the glossy Mod Podge. So that's the back, that's the front. Here's the dangle. And here's the one that I used the page to cover. So that's the back. And I decided that to just leave it as is. I thought the plain paper finish was fine. With the front part, I took one of the Tim Holtz die cuts and cut one of the specimens in half, and one half is here, the other half is here, and I put some labels on. And again, I finished things off with the glossy Mod Podge. And one thing that I liked is that as I was painting on the Mod Podge, it was picking up the distressed ink, and that ink ran into the label, and I like that it gave it an aged finish. So here's the dangle, the front of the dangle, and there's the back of this dangle here, and that is it. This is our little tutorial for today, and thanks for joining me. Okay, everyone, if you like this video, please share, please hit the like button, and please subscribe. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.